could never book Bob Marley because he had passed.
Hey, but
Yeah.
I got a little story about Patra.
Lady
I used
Patrick.
to, yeah, I worked at the Boys and Girls Club in the early 90s on the Lamo and Atlantic in Long Beach. And, and we had the TV in the game room where the kids could see. We had videos playing, and I forget the name of the show. I think it was MTV Videos or something. But Patrick came on. You should have saw you should have saw those little boys stop what they was doing, was looking at that video. And I said, you know what? We got to turn this video off.
She had an upbeat song.
Patrick was something else.
Commercial radio. She got exposure. Yeah.
Well, Sister Nancy got a big payday just the other day.
Who did?
Sister Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
She just got a payday the other day because Jay-Z used her song and she finally got her payday. God bless her.
What the bomb bomb?
Bomb bomb. Oh, what the bomb. Oh my God. Bomb bomb was
a lot of them have reaped, eventually. And I hear other artists, American artists, that have taken stuff from the reggae songs and style and incorporate. Now, what I'm gonna tell you about that reggaeton. Tell him everybody know what that is. The Hispanic community is doing reggae and they call it reggaeton. They have their own artists, their own shows, and they've taken rhythms that have been built and written by Jamaicans and put their own spin on it, which means they're artists. But it's still reggae. And I feel that's the fault of the industry from Jamaica. They did not secure that reggae industry, because when you talk about paperwork, licensing, it's like you got to know. Yeah, publishing. You got to tighten your stuff up or somebody's going to come and take it from you. And they have. And it doesn't sound good? I'll say, yeah. But I know
danceable. It's definitely danceable.
Say that again. It's danceable. Yeah.
It's definitely danceable.
They're listening and dancing to it. They're not thinking about what we're thinking about as business people. I don't want to see nobody ripped off. I like original artists, original.
Well, let me tell you something about these young artists coming out of Jamaica now. They not like the old artists. First of all, they want their money. The roots artists was doing it for Jah, Rastafari. Right. They were setting foundations. But these young people, oh, hell no. They're all about getting paid now. And now they're a little smarter about their publishing and about copywriting. And they have this what they call reggae revival that's happening now. Good. Now, this reggae revival, you have some great conscious artists like Chronix, Protege, Keznami, Jesse Royal. And the other's hand are the children of the legendary artists.
Oh, I would love to do a show on all, like Gregory Isaac got a son, Ken Booth, they got an offspring. All of them, Alton Ellis, they all have a kid that can sing, not just the Marleys.
No, Tommy Cohen and Carlene Davis have a daughter that is not only gorgeous, but she sings like a bird. And she's on the top charts. Junior Reed's children is on the top charts. The Tosh children have been really ignored. But you have the Tosh children and Bunny Wailer's son. He goes by the name of Naki Wailer. He is stepping out. When I lived in Jamaica, all of these young children used to gather at my house, and at the time they were just playing football and Ludi and that kind of stuff. Now to see them artists like at the time, my children were the backing band for all of these artists. Remember, Barbara, you came to my house, I think, one at a time
Oh yeah.
to see the
I,
boys playing.
So,
and they're
so
still playing. And
question, Barbara.
huh?
So you just came up with an idea.
I've been had that idea.
Okay,
I
so
just told I just told y'all about it.
okay. Well, I'm waiting.
Okay, well, I'll give you my Zelle information. You send me the money, I'll make the show happen.
Good luck.
Well, listen,
Yeah, it's a lot of good artists, huh?
we have Mr. Ernest McBride with all those venues over there in Compton. We're gonna have to capture
Long
one of
Beach.
those venues.
He's in Long Beach.
Oh, Long Beach.
In
Okay.
Long Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
right there on Martin Luther King, behind Poly High School on Martin Luther King Avenue.
not really.
So,
Yeah,
Kind of, but I don't know the area like that.
yeah.
well,
Long Beach big,
we're gonna have to find us some money and make this
but
happen.
that'd be a wonderful, like a really a wonderful theme. And it's like to have a theme of a show with a good purpose, and then you build in it and on it and around it. That's success there.
Right,
That's
right.
success right there. Like I've been working, I told you I'm doing a jazz event, and this will be the third year. Because see, I'm not just listening to reggae, I'm listening to everything. So, it's can I just flash this? It's called Jazz on the Green. It's September the 27th. And what happens is it depicts the New Orleans Southern culture of jazz and the music, the food, everything is in line with the umbrellas, the
I'll be
dance.
there.
It's fun, and it's an all white affair. So
You-
people come out. It's
Can you
like
show that
grown.
flyer again, please?
It's like grown folks music.
Mhm.
We don't have no little kiddie rides or nothing like that. And we're on the green, the soccer field this is my church. It's St. Agatha on Adams and La Brea. And I'll get the flyer to you. I'll send it to Jen J. If she doesn't have it already, you send it to them. But honey, this is like the third year. This has been so successful. It replaced the festival that the church has had for years. We sell a little beer and wine. And this year we're going to have mint juleps. We have jazz. We have brass. And there's this dance people love and boots on the ground. So they'll probably drop that. And it's like I said, it's culturally fun. So you have a group that came from the South, blacks that migrated from the South because of segregation and jobs, of course, came here from Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia. So they, just like the Jamaicans, look for their ackee and saltfish or whatever. They come and they look for their fish places, and they look for where their music is. So that's called community. So we put this out in our community, in the district that we are in is District 10, and that's the district of Councilwoman Heather Hutt. Very lovely woman. She named, you guys don't know, but back off of Exposition and Western was a big cultural community of Creoles. So you had little holes in the walls, and you had fish places. You always could get good oysters, and, uh, uh, they call it boudin, all that kind of stuff that they would get from home. So that community survived. It's not the same, but she declared that community and gave it a name and has a not a plaque, but it has a big sign. You'll see it when you enter that area. So she's into culture and community too. So we asked her, would she support us in any kind of way? And she said, sure, you're in my district. What do you need? So that's
Well, I'm
how,
excited. I'm gonna come. I'm
please come.
excited, Barbara.
So it's different, but it's good. And I was we met last night, went to a restaurant, the committee. It's about 15 of us. I said, you know what? This is like we could. They said, well, Barbara, would you do this and not do another concert there at the church? I said, you know what? I would do reggae on the green there. I thought about it because that's my number one, Ernest, is reggae. But then it's like you're talking about on the grounds of a church, and I know that people come for reggae will smoke weed. And I think that would be uncomfortable for our priests and staff. And I don't like conflict like that. I don't want nobody bothering nobody, and I don't want nobody to feel insulted.
That's right.
So I'll think of something else because I to do that concert with all these legends, children and stuff, that could work easily there because that is a soccer field, so it's big. But that's not the only place to have a soccer field. So, word to the wise, soccer fields do quite well for a venue for music because you just have to bring in the stage, and most of the time the fencing's there, and some have bathrooms, some don't. You have to, you got to bring in the kitchen sink. But you get hooked up and make contact with your city officials and stuff. They'll help you and support you, especially with a nonprofit. So the church is a nonprofit, so that gives me leverage to say, can you help us? And you need the tax ID number. Get a pen and write it down. Thank you very much. So I say that to anybody that wants to do something, and raise money. You could raise money for organizations and stuff. And you don't have to give them all the money. You can give some of the money to your artist lineup. Because see, we paid our artists. I believe musicians need to be paid. And that's why a lot of musicians had a lot of respect for us and they wanted to be on our show every
respect,
year.
major respect.
We paid.
Not only the musicians, the people that attended the event. I think I shared with you, Barbara, that I recently listened to a podcast by the name of Rootsland. And this particular gentleman running this podcast talked about Marty days in Long Beach. And he was from New York, Long Island.
Okay.
And he talked about how groups of them would get together annually to come to the reggae festival at the Long Beach Convention Center.
True that.
And talked about not only groups of them, how they would meet up with other people and people that brought their children. And the next thing you know is grandparents and parents and children and families, and how it was an event that they looked forward to all year long.
And we had a space for children at the Long Beach Arena because Claudette McTaggart made sure she had a nonprofit organization called What About the Children? So we had stuff. We had arts and crafts, bouncy stuff, like a little library or something. We had stuff for them to do. So people felt comfortable carrying their kids there. It was a family environment. It was back to the first show or first gathering for Bob that I went to at MacArthur Park. All kinds of people, all races, There was the racial was mixed, economics was mixed. It didn't matter.
Unbelievable.
It was
Unbelievable.
just what you had in your heart that would bring you there.
Everybody, black, white, Asian, Filipino, Latinos. I mean, the Hopi. I had members that came up from the Hopi reservation in Arizona with their children to come attend the festival.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It was so good. And it set the standard. I don't know. I don't want to be too over the top, but I believe it set the standard for reggae right across the nation. Because soon after that, Sunsplash started a tour.
Yeah.
Sunsplash started the tour after you started the festival. They start Tony Johnson and Ronnie Burke realized, hey, we can start in California and go cross to the East Coast. They didn't start
Yeah.
in the East Coast and come this way. No, they started in the West Coast and went to the East Coast.
And didn't they also
Yeah.
start Sunsplash at the Greek?
Yeah. And I worked there. I helped them with the vendors, organizing the vendors. But let me tell you what happened to Sunsplash. These were several businessmen, Jamaicans out of Jamaica. And some had gone, moved abroad because Tony Johnson, God rest his soul, went to UCLA. Well, Tony Johnson and the partners, they broke up. They had conflict. And see, one thing about a partnership, it's only good when it works, but when you start having all these different opinions and you don't agree and reason with one another, then it's a conflict. And that's what happened to Sunsplash. Plus, now here I am. My thing, one of my specialty is booking. I didn't when I put a lineup together, it's well thought of. It's well studied. It's well researched. I don't even know who's available. I don't know who has traveling privileges. All I'm just going by the name and the music and what they have to offer. So, and what can we receive back from them, and who will know them, or who needs to know them, and how many will know them, how many will not. So it's a lot, it's like a science kind of thing you put together when you start booking. Well, like I said, that takes a lot of time, and that takes a lot of thought and a lot of thinking. And I felt I was gifted with that because it's just like when we did the radio during the week, and we listened for hours to that music. My mother would say, y'all still listen to music? Yeah. I mean, when I say hours, hours. And we didn't play no song all the way through. Do 2 shows. Ram the music. See, when you invest your time like that, you're gonna come out with good cake. So when I sit back and looked at Sunsplash, I criticized to myself, to them. I didn't tell them that because that was none of my business to tell them that. But they had a lousy lineup. They had who they wanted, just like those DJs on the radio.
They
Yes,
kept the wrong people out.
yeah, and look, and didn't want to even let me in on a guest list, and I'm on the radio pushing Sunsplash. They did a lot of ugly, nasty things. And back to, I'm not a Jamaican, and I knew where it came from. And they were nice people, but they were territorial, honey. So when I find people like that, I back up because my parents didn't raise me to lick up behind people. They either want to be associated with you or they don't. And you just move around them or leave them alone. So, I watched them take their fall. And I was told by, and see, we have this divide and conquer in this society. When a white person sees Black people trying to work together and achieve, they try to divide you. They try to dissolve your ideas and your business. And some of us, some African American people or people of color, they're easy bait at that kind of thing. Jealousy is another bad spirit. And that's all in the Bible. When people get jealous, they get ruthless, they get mean, they get territorial, they get mad, they find reasons why I can't work with her or work with him. So I saw that kind of stuff going on. And as you mentioned, I worked at the Greek, and I did. The Greek booked Sunsplash, but they were over the festival outside with the craft vendors and some food vendors. So they asked me would I help coordinate it. Well, I have good coordination skills. I ain't bragging, but I do. Remember, I went to Cal State LA for all of that. So I could put those things together like that. So we did very good. Everything went fine. First year, second year. I think when we got to the third year, or I think might have been the second year. This white lady called me up from the Greek. She said, Barbara, I can't hire you again. I said, what do you mean? She said, I said, you're not going to have the vendor stuff outside anymore? She said, yeah. She said, but I can't hire you. I said, you going to still have Sunsplash and all that? She said, yeah, but I can't hire you. I said, you can't hire me. Why? Did I do a bad job? She said, oh, no, you did a great job. She said, I was told if the only way we could have this event at the Greek, if I wasn't involved with the vendors. And they had selected somebody in their family to organize that part of it. Whatever. It's okay. I went anyway. I went anyway and had a good time, but I'm still watching and looking at the attendance, the organization of it, and the lineup. And I knew the lineup was weak. Was weak. You just don't be putting people on there. You've got this relationship from back a yard. You got to watch what's going on the scene. You can get some of them older people or some of those, it doesn't matter. You just got to put together, it's like a recipe, and it has to shine in some kind of way. So I watched them. So they start losing money and they start losing money and they start having more conflict. So they just said, okay, Tony Johnson, you take Japan and we'll stick with Jamaica. And he also had the US. All that started diminishing in numbers and I always said, you just don't have a good lineup. But did you ask me? No. Hi. So, that's when I had a lot of hair, huh? That's when I did my first billboard.
Look at how pretty you look.
Thank you. I did my first billboard for my Vibes is Right radio program. Had it on Slauson, had it on Crenshaw. And you know what? Billboards were not that expensive then. So it was affordable. I was able to pay for it out of my county social worker check when I got paid. So they ended up printing all these pictures and ads. And I'm like, oh, wow. You got, I said, you got a lot of billboards of me, but you know what? We only had a contract for 5, something like that. I said, I got to pay for all those because I start seeing them everywhere. Remember, I'm in the field. I'm a social worker. I'm driving all over this place. I'm seeing these billboards everywhere. And then they said, no, oh no, you don't have to pay for them. We just didn't want an empty billboard. And that's advertisement to us. Cool, favor. That's what I called it. So that's how I built the show and built my name.
So, Barbara, we would like to, flash some of the artists that have been on your festival and let you comment and play a little bit of their
Sure.
music. Okay, Rashaki.
Let me fix my seat.
Okay.
I'm sliding.
Okay, I'm pulling up some artists.
I'm sitting in a terrible chair with wheels on a hardwood floor and it's low. Okay. That's better. Ready. What were we waiting for?
He's cute. He's queuing it
While
up.
we're waiting, can you share who you really found to be someone you really loved working with? And it was a pleasure to have had them on the festival.
Most of all those artists I love working with. I love working with Sugar. I love working with Gregory Isaac. I love working with Barrington Levy. I love working with Maxie Priest. I love working with the Wailing Souls. I love working with Still Pulse. I love working with who else? Barris Hammond.
And this is Maxie Priest.
That's Maxie Priest. You got to have caution.
You brought us
But
Maxie Priest.
Huh?
You brought Maxie Priest to us. We did not know
Yeah.
nothing about Maxie
Yeah.
Priest. Maxie Priest came out of England, and most of our attention was to Jamaica. So when you brought us Maxie Priest, that was a big thing.
Yeah. And you know what Maxie Priest's son sings? He could be on
Right.
that show. His son sings.
That's right.
Uh-huh. We work with so many of them. We work with Shaka Demus and Pliers, and I think I shared a story with Sharita. Shaka Demus and Pliers was on a show we were doing. I think it was a tribute to Coulter Ranks right there. That's a sing J too. He was so good. This man held his spot in the industry and invested in a lot of real estate. I like talking to him. One time, as I was saying, oh yeah, we were at Andrew Tosh, the son of Peter Tosh, said, Barbara, you do the Bob Marley days. I'd like to honor my father. Could you do Peter Tosh Day? I said, I'll help you build it. Yeah, we can do it. That didn't last long because he is emotional and volatile. And I'm not going to work with anybody that screams at me and disrespect me. So when you do that, we are getting a divorce. So our relationship was short-lived as a promoter and an artist. But I did the show, it happened, and I thought it was good. He did too. And we had Shaka Demus and Pliers to perform. When it was time for Shaka Demus to come out, he had left his belt in the hotel room. He didn't realize that he didn't have that belt till it was time to go on stage. Shaka Demus and Pliers. Pliers goes out first, and he's beckoning for Shaka Demus. And Shaka Demus, he said, Barbara, come here, come here. I can't go out there. I said, why? They're calling your name. He said, I don't have a belt for my pants. I said, so? He said, my pants will fall down if I don't have on a belt. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, that's a big thing. He said, you get me a belt. I said, me? And I just looked at him and went and found him a belt. There were people backstage, some guys, and I said, this one I knew pretty good. I said, hey, give me your belt. He said, what? I said, give me that belt you got on. Shaka needs it. He left his belt at the hotel and he flipped that belt off, gave it to me, and I gave it to Shaka, and he went out there and danced and gave a great performance. Oh, look at Richie B out of Jamaica, big time DJ radio guy. We would bring him in to just to add that Jamaican flavor as our MC for years. I love Richie B being on our show, and he did too. He could dress, he could talk, he had a swag, huh, Ginger and Masharika?
That's right. And
The boy was bad.
before him, you were using Smoothie Jones.
Who was I using?
Smoothie Jones.
Oh, Smoothie Jones. Yeah. What happened to him?
He's around.
He is. He had a
Uh,
good voice. I would look for voices because I'm a voice girl. So I look. They had good voices. So we had different MCs throughout, throughout the years. Everybody wanted to be the MC. Look at Barris. Now Barris, I like working with Barris, but I didn't like Barris's management. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They were too expensive and wanted everything. A lot of the artists come to town, they will not only want you to pay them a fee, they want per diem, meals, go shopping. They want you to pay for everything.
Yeah, they were ridiculous. It got to the point where, well, that I think that's what caused a lot of artists to think, hey, I'm just gonna stay in California.
Yeah. And that hurt the business. A lot of artists got signage with major record companies. I knew that for a fact. And a lot of the record company reps told me they had to drop them because they weren't cooperative.
Eddie Fitzroy.
And Luciano.
Mhm.
Eddie was a wonderful guy. He's deceased too.
Yes, when his son passed away, and that kind of took him out.
Wow. We
And
had everybody. Huh?
Luciana also had a son about maybe 3-4 years ago that was
Singing.
no that passed away. That
Oh my.
it's a shame that these artists, these foundational artists, would sing about love and peace and bring up their children, and then their children would take a wrong path, hang with the wrong people, and then it would turn around on them. That's what happened to Tabby Diamond.
Yeah, he was murdered. Something connected with his son.
Yeah.
This was a big reggae fan, Diane, and she put her money into reggae, and she loved reggae. She came to every show. I don't care where it was. It could have been. You might need a plane to get there. She was going.
Mm-hmm.
She was
But
a
she
big
really, in the
promoter.
end, she really lucked out because her father was a lawyer. But because she hung out with people of color, she did not get
She
any
wasn't
money from
accepted.
her family. Now,
Right.
her father's, I believe it was her father's great grandfather invented some kind of light utility system that ended up becoming this major utility system that they would get
quarterly checks.
quarterly. I mean,
A big payoff. A big payoff.
Fun, baby.
major money. And the fact that her father never wanted to share with her, but then when he dropped out, she got everything.
Mm-hmm.
She and
Good.
her brother.
She deserved it. She deserved whatever she got. That's Tipper Irie out of England. And that's what's his name? He played with Still Pulse. And he also MC for us. I can't think what's his name, you guys.
It's not I'm locked.
I'm locked. Go, Jen J. You remember. And they both from England. So they buddies took a picture together.
Wow, memories. Whew. This just leaves me breathless.
I have a lot of pictures.
Memories.
A lot of pictures. But the industry was good to me and I loved it. And I felt that I did what I was called to do. And, when it came to not an end, but a different direction, I had to accept that. It's like when I lost the radio show, and then I lost my concert, and I lost my mom. There were a lot of losses and stuff. This is us backstage at the festival in Long Beach, broadcasting live. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't come to the festival, the Ragamuffin Festival in Long Beach Arena, we'd take you there. Just listen to the radio, and we
Oh
did that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
People were at home rocking it because we bring all the artists backstage and interview them.
And those were the days when people would drop in a cassette and then share that and then record the show, right? And
Yeah,
then that show was syndicated all over.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Um that was
People tape our shows because there's some people that I know that if I go around them, they'll play the tape, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's Bob Marley's wife,
no mom.
not wife, his mother.
Yeah.
That's his mother. We honored her that year. That's me next to her.
Yes, I see.
That's Adela Booker.
Mm-hmm.
She's a sweet, very sweet woman.
Loved her baby.
She did. And you know what? His wife, Rita, resembles his mother.
Yeah.
Same tribe.
Yeah.
That's how you know he loved his mother, because he got a wife that looked like his
Looked
mom.
like his mother. Yeah.
That's who I thought that was, Rita.
Yeah. That's his mother. That when he adored his mother.
Wow.
He sure did.
He's a sweetheart. I wish I would have met him, but I hadn't met him. And I wish I could have seen him perform, and it never happened. But
Well,
through
you
the
know, the
music,
Wailing Souls
met
grew up with Bob.
Bob,
They
they
grew
used
up,
to tell me stories. They had a lot of stories to tell too.
and recently they just honored Joe Higgs.
Wow.
Oh, who is this artist? Ed Robertson.
Yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I can't sing, but that's the lyric.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, he sure was a cutie.
We look kind of nice together on that picture.
I'm trying to say.
He's based in New York and has a studio, and Ben had that studio. I don't know if it's in Brooklyn. I don't think it's in the Bronx. I think it's in Brooklyn. I visited the studio, and his wife is involved in the music business with him too. Very nice lady. They work with a lot of artists, and that's where they make their money, in studio time and stuff like that, recordings.
Did you know? I think Carlton Livingston is in town doing a show.
Now,
I think so. I think I saw it. Now I don't know if it's in California, but it's. I'm gonna have to look back on
get
Facebook.
back with me. I would love to see him. I had Carlton Livingston. Don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors. It only break your heart.
Oh
He was
gosh.
a good singer. He was a good singer.
Mm-hmm.
Al Campbell was an excellent singer to me.
Another
And
one.
I look at
Al
a lot of
Campbell's son. Al Campbell's son is performing. I think
you
Al Campbell's son
kidding.
is named Micah Shemaiah. And
You
Micah
kidding.
Shemaiah did Rotterdam. He's a in
You got
fact
to send me that
my
information so I could YouTube them and find them.
my sons did a song with Micah Shemaiah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, when you grow up in a household with that music, you're gonna come out with it.
Don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors. If you hear something about me, come say it to me. Come say it to me.
Great. That's good music.
This is
Foundation
reggae music.
Yeah. Foundation. Definitely.
Hey, Barbara, did you know that they have a Bob Marley exhibition in Las Vegas?
No.
Unbelievable. I got contacted not too long ago by Mary Stephens, who told me that she and Roger were invited, I think by Sedella, the daughter, to go see, and they went, not expecting it to be much of anything. They figure, yeah, right. They were blown away. They said it's so good.
Is it in a hotel or it's something?
In a hotel. And it's called, I think it's called Hope Road or Hope Street Road, something like that.
Yeah, it is Hope Road.
Yes, it's called Hope Road. And Mary said to me, Dinjay, if you go, make sure you go to the immerse, what's it called? Immerse, because you use 3D cameras.
Okay.
And that it's a really beautiful exhibition, and that all of the dancers, everybody involved in the performance are Jamaicans from Yard.
So is it an exhibit or is it a production?
It's an exhibit. It's a production. I think they do dancing and singing and colors.
It's an experience, and it's at Mandalay Bay Hotel in Las Vegas.
Okay, I know that hotel.
You can walk through the exhibit. I think the exhibit might be free, but you have to pay for the show.
Nice. I love to hear that. And you know, Roger Steffens also collected all kinds of memorabilia about Marley. Yeah. And he was always looking for somewhere or somebody that would buy that.
He just got paid.
Huh?
He just got paid.
He did good for him all these years. Where is it? Is it going to Jamaica or somewhere else?
It's going to Jamaica, to Montego Bay. They're in the process of looking for a place to house it because they want it a certain elevation because they don't want it to be in danger of being flooded out. So I think they're actually looking for a place to construct the building.
Finally, because you know what? Jamaica never cut a deal with him. And I didn't understand that.
It's a white man by the name of Joe Bogdanovich.
Okay, I don't know.
Joe Bogdanovich.
Wanna be free, no, 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 no.
Turn me loose.
Take these chains from off my feet. I want to rock to the blue.
Wonderful voice. I got him a side gig. It wasn't a gig, it just was a one-timer to do a commercial for the lottery, California lottery. And he got paid some nice money. If I had more time and a bigger staff, I could have done a lot in reggae. But I did enough. No complaints. We did that bus tour. We did the workshops. We did the tours. We did a lot of stuff. And I'm grateful.
Who had the traveling agency? Tom Litton.
Tom Litton. He helped me a lot to bring people to Jamaica. And the one time, remember the girl used to be on she was in a wheelchair. She joined my group to travel to Jamaica. And I had to find handicap access hotel for her. Honey, at that time, do you know these hotels did not have anything like that? I was called, I ended up at the Wyndham and I told them, you're going to get in a lot of trouble and a lawsuit if you don't have handicap access. Honey, they told me to call back and they was going to work on it. And they did. And that was the only hotel that we knew of that had a handicap ramp that this girl could go. Once she found that out.
Oh, I remember that sister that used to come to all the shows, but
and
she
be
was
right
in a wheelchair.
Front.
That's right.
Right in front. And she loved Luciano too. All of them. Her name was something like Elena or something like that. But anyway, so it's a lot of stuff happened during that era of time. A lot of changes, a lot of awareness. And then, like I say, it's a good ride. I play reggae music every day, from the TV There's
Mhm.
so much music. In the car. Do I spin music? No. I got rid of most of my music, gave it to some other DJs. So I play it. You can get you have access to music.
Yeah. Now,
You know
now,
you
now
know
the
what I
music
mean,
is
Ernest?
so much so accessible, not like it was before. Now you have, I mean,
I used
digital.
to go to Jamaica just to get some songs. And remember, Simred had that record store. She ended up being my roommate.
Ooh, yes, yes.
So she turned me on to a lot of music. And then I would go, honey, when I would go to Jamaica, I go to these hole in the wall record stores that's like in an alley and find music and stay there all day playing music. That I was in heaven. I
I
come back with
know.
my music and play it on the radio. It was fun, very challenging.
Very challenging.
So I
Very.
felt on an educational level, that goal was reached to teach people and educate people on that type of music. You didn't have to be from Jamaica to hear about it. You could hear about all these different artists, and it was it,
Yolanda.
it was an educational experience. And as a historian that I think I am, because that my committee that puts this jazz on the green, we're called the Black Historian Committee. There's so many stories to be told for Blacks, African Americans, Africans, to everybody got a story. And so many stories have not been told. And it's people like you guys are doing it now with this podcast. I commend you because people have learned something from your shows and your performances and your speaking and whatever you do, they learn it. Who you got? Johnny Osborne, Water Pumping, great artist to work with.
Do the thing to keep you rocking and I sing the water pumping. Darling, make me do the water pumping. You do the thing.
Who you think? That's a dance, pumping. They always had a different dance that come out of Jamaica, and then they start making these songs with it. But that was a dance in Jamaica. You can't hear you, Jen J. Jen J, we can't hear you.
If my memory serves me correctly, when I had a surprise party for Garty, that was one of the songs that was played. Barbara made the cake for
Carrot
Garty.
cake.
And I believe, yeah, I believe it was at the Kingston 12 on Lincoln when they moved from Crenshaw.
Pico. Pico.
Pico,
Oh, the
was it
Kingston
Pico?
12. Wait a minute, it's the Kingston 12? The King,
Didn't the Kingston,
right, with Barry and them. Where was the
That
Kingston
was
12? It was on
Broadway.
Crenshaw. They
that
didn't
was
move
But
to
first it
Broadway?
was on Crenshaw, then it moved to like Santa Monica or whatever. It was
right. That's how
Yeah,
it
then it
goes.
moved to Santa Monica. I thought it was Lincoln in Santa Monica.
it was Lincoln and a cross street, but yeah, off of Lincoln. It was on the corner like.
Had Garty dance with everybody
Mhm.
in the. Oh, he was so happy that night for his birthday. He danced with every lady in there. What a gentleman. Was so blessed. Well, life goes on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have been on this over here for 2.5 hours. Woo! We set a
We
record
have.
tonight.
Have any more music for us that you want to play to let us end, Rashaki?
Yes, I think we have Marcia Griffith.
What's she saying?
Our most famous song, probably.
Electric Boogie. And we have Black Uhuru too.
And
Oh no.
Electric Boogie she has a dance with that, the electric slide. She
Mm-hmm.
originated that.
Do you know that Bunny Wailer wrote that song?
Oh, really? Oh, you know what? She said that. She told that story. He did. Yeah, you're right.
And
Because
then
they
she was
just did a tribute to her in the industry for how many years?
50,
50 years. She just had
50 years.
Okay.
Are you coming with me? Come, let me take you on a party ride. And I'll teach you, teach you. I'll teach you the electric slide.
That's her.
Y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. All this good reggae music. All this
I need to
wonderful
I
reggae
need to go
music.
check my I got a text about my alarm system. But anyway,
Okay.
are we done?
I think, is
You
that
want,
all our music?
you want more?
I think my mouth needs a break.
Okay, then just take a
Okay.
listen. Just take a listen.
Let's see what we have. Uh, Guru.
Put on my favorite, Buffalo Soldier.
Oh,
We don't have that.
that's your favorite. That's a good song.
We
That's
don't
when all
have
the
that one, Ernest.
I threes did the backup vocals on that.
Look how the Eden them a gone past street today. Oh,
That's not it.
oh. Eden them a gone past street today.
Heathen, huh?
That's Black Uhuru Heathen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first album that my husband was on that was nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
Give us life,
Give us life to live.
let us
Let
live.
us
So, oh yeah, don't need no way when I.
Nice. That music, that is the real reggae music.
Wailing Souls, Wailing Souls.
Real deal.
Memories.
Nobody makes music like that anyway. They can't. You can't duplicate it. It's great music. And you know what's funny? Reggae music was not accepted in Jamaica, honey.
No.
The aristocrats and the bourgeois and the educated people fought against it. And it was their gold mine. That's why this industry is behind like it is. And it wasn't
That's right.
supported. We had Air Jamaica, the Jamaican Tourist Board. All of those organizations did not support reggae like they should have. They were
No.
ready for a party. But the industry needed the business tighten up, you know?
Mhm.
This is the last song right here.
Ooh,
Okay.
third world,
Okay.
96
Third
degrees.
world.
6 degrees in the
In the
shade.
shade.
Real hot
Oh, yeah.
in the shade. 96 degrees in the shade. Real hot, oh yes, in the shade.
Wow. Memories. And look, the
Get off
only
too quick, man.
the only member the only member left, performing member left of Third World is Cat Core.
Oh.
Yeah. We lost a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah. Richie
And you know
is
what? Go ahead.
the bass player is still alive, but he can't perform.
Wow.
His
Great
health.
group, great band. And you know, Stevie Wonder's station, KJLH, kept Third World on the playlist.
That's
So
right.
a lot of people that knew Bob Marley's music, then they knew Third World. But they didn't go past that either, you know, with other artists. But now on Saturday, there's a guy, I think he's from Belize. He plays more reggae and soca and stuff. Give thanks, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything is in its time. Cause look at the song that Lauryn Hill's son did over the Marley rhythm. I mean, that song took off like wildfire.
And
Oh
what's the
yeah.
name of that song?
You know, she performed
Praise.
on our show free, came through backstage at the Long Beach Arena, and she said she wanted to be on the stage. She wanted to sing a song. And we had no band for her because, you know, bands are not going to just play for you without some kind of rehearsal. She said, I brought my guitar and I can do it.
Hey,
And she did. We had a lot of artists that would just show up and say, I want to be on this show. And
yeah.
because of Bob Marley and what that show represented.
And
So she
because of
came.
you, Miss B, yes, Bob, we're gonna respect Bob because he
That's
did his
right.
work. But
That's right.
listen, you did the work. You stuck it out. You gave us the best of the best, never shortcut. I say, hey, big it up to Miss Barbara Barabino. And as I told Joe would say, from the Barabino family.
Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I got a lot of awards over the years. Like I said, and I've had 5 police reports, but I had more support than I had not. And you cannot please everybody. You can't make everybody happy, and everybody doesn't support you. They did the same thing to God. So who are you?
Hey.
When you are successful and you're doing things, I'm sure you talk to some of these other people in this business, like Beyonce or, you know, whoever, they are attacked as well.
Chris Brown.
There's a Chris Brown, there's a darkness, you know, in that every successful person can tell you that they have had to experience a certain amount of darkness.
And in saying that, I mean, this is a little bit off subject, but Ryan Coogler's movie Sinners touches on what people have to go through with people that don't have talent but want your talent.
Okay. I need to check that movie. Did I see that movie? No, not yet.
Yeah, you should check that movie.
That's the new one.
Yeah, that's the
I
new
know.
one. Well, he's
I
got
know.
another one out too, Broken Heart. That's on Disney.
I know
Okay.
that my husband was and is a team player. My husband was never interested in being the man out front, and he wanted to always be part of a team. And it hurt him so. It devastated his little soul that his brethren could not see anything through. Although they talked about the solidarity, although they talked about the one love amongst themselves. Whew.
And that's the downfall of many of our good groups. They break up, they fall out. And you know, even with Bob Marley and the Wailers, I don't care what happened. There's no way the Wailers and the I3s could not continue the legacy of Bob Marley. But honey, they all scattered and split up and all that. That was terrible. That when Bob was living, they all performed together. Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer, Marcia, Judy, and Rita, they were all together as one. Once Bob died, they all fell out. People fall out over money, ego, and all kinds of stuff. And
Ooh, that ego is one dangerous thing, boy.
You know, one group that I just was head over heels for was Israel Vibration. And when Apple left the group, I was sad. I went to a concert and Apple wasn't there. I was like, what? Where's Apple?
Conflict is a
Yeah.
terrible, it's a demonic thing.
Yeah.
And you can disagree with people, but to have I would not invest in a group that many years like the Wailing Souls, even but the Diamonds, they hung in there.
They sure
Very
did.
few artists that really stayed together with the original members.
They
And
sure did.
that's sad right there. But that's a lot to do with management as well. You know, when the artists start managing themselves, they get into petty stuff.
Yeah, because
Artists should be into
even
nothing but
Third
their
World, the same thing happened with Third
yeah,
World.
I agree.
Ibu and Willie left the group. The keyboardist and the drummer left the group after so many years.
It's a marriage. It's a
It
business.
is. It's a commitment. And you don't just because you can be mad, get glad, but you're gonna do a show the next night together. Show's over with, go home. You don't have to sleep with these people, you know, group. And that's being disciplined as a musician.
Discipline. Yeah. I think a lot of times for them, living in Jamaica, being around a lot of yard people, I think that what happened for the group, once they got off the island and saw the world, they got temptation. The ego got
The
wild.
money and the money, the
Yeah,
root
the
of
money, the access to the people, different lifestyles. It was just too much for them.
they couldn't handle it.
No, they couldn't. As long as they were on that little rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, they was all about unity.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's the nature of things that we're going to bless it and make them move forward. Because a lot of times I get questioned a lot about the revolutions, the slightly stupid, the stick figures, tribal seeds. And I think of my husband when before I answer that because my husband was always so positive.
Yes, he was.
And he thought it was a beautiful thing that they were trying to play reggae. It would piss me off.
You
But
know, remember Mr. Mutton? He sued Slightly Stupid for
who did?
taking Mutton, Mr. Mutton.
Oh, is that right?
He sued them. And he won his case because he's one of those younger artists that paid attention to his business and paperwork. And they had taken some of his lyrics and incorporated in their own music. And when he heard it, he went and got him a lawyer. And they had to pay him. And they did. And they invited him to come on one of their shows. They didn't fall out, but he sued them. And I like when an artist stands up for their rights. But when you are all over the place running women, high all the time, you got to take care of your business. So a lot of artists fell by the wayside. And just like in a lot of jazz artists died so young. Yeah. See, you got to deal with, they had to deal with segregation and then not getting paid. And then you start getting depressed and then you start using drugs and alcohol. And next thing you know, you got a substance abuser and you're trying to combine that with music. Most of the artists back in the day in, what's his name? Miles Davis time and before him.
Oh yeah.
They died like in their 20s. A lot of them, maybe 30. Because I've been reading and stuff. They died. But they overdosed. They all smoked weed, but they overdosed on the needle.
Take into consideration the time, the stress, the segregation, the treatment.
They were going through the back doors to get in those spots. Yeah.
So it's easy.
And their wives was leaving them because they weren't bringing the butter like that. Then you had women after them. They didn't know how to handle that, but they had women. I probably would have been one of those women. They had women that shared their house with musicians. It wasn't no relationship. They just let them come over and they kept a hot meal for them to have.
It would be like Thelonious Monk and the the Baroness from the Rothschilds. She was
Okay.
very supportive, which she was very wealthy, but they had very wealthy people that were helping to support them. And people like
Mhm.
Duke Ellington was smart enough to buy a bunch of train cars, so they never had to worry about checking into a hotel and eating and getting a bag of
Okay.
food at a restaurant. They could eat on the train, they could sleep on the train, they could move that train.
Right.
Because, so everybody had to deal with that time how best way they could, but it took a toll on everyone.
Yeah.
So
It was
that
so impressed.
this is what's happening to our reggae musicians, because a lot of our musicians um had a limited diet.
Mhm.
I know my husband had suffered from a vitamin B12 deficiency. Jafada had a B12 deficiency a lot because they didn't eat the meat. They didn't eat the protein, enough protein. And then the road life, they just
Uh,
smoked the herb. And
Everybody couldn't be like Bob Marley, take their cook, their chef, and everything, and
Yeah.
take a place in a hotel and cook their foods for them so they could
That's important.
live on what they used to eating. Yeah,
You see those shows that we did, those tours and stuff. I didn't like being on the road like that. And we was just in California. Can you imagine going across state? I was eating wrong, or I wasn't eating at the right time. I almost got depressed just doing that. Being on a
right?
bus. Yeah, being on a bus. Oh, that was not, I was like, oh,
there's no
I
glad.
see what the musicians go through touring. That's a job in itself. No, thank you. I would want another. I didn't like that.
And then,
And we
and not
stayed
to
in
mention,
hotels and everything when we got where we were. But just to
yeah,
get there and stuff, ugh,
it was.
horrible.
Uh, Nevertheless, through all of that, such beautiful music and memories
Mhm.
were made,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
love y'all. I love reggae music. I love y'all,
Love you
and
too.
it has brought me
Sharita.
such pleasure. I
Mhm.
have reggae my lighters. I'm gonna listen to some Peter Tosh now and listen to the reggae my lighters because he says I got it in my bones.
And Barbara, thank you so much for sharing the history as a concert reggae music festival promoter for 30 years, not just in Southern California, but throughout the state of California as a Black American woman, educated and
Thank you.
working. So thank you so much.
Thank
And
you for
I hope
inviting.
that you do take on the next project, which you discussed. I think it will do
Okay.
really well. And it's probably
I'm gonna
some
go home and check my Zelle.
Hey,
That's right.
this has
Start that
been
start that GoFundMe page, okay?
this
Yeah,
has
huh?
this
Oh,
has
now
been
you're talking. Huh?
this has been an exceptional evening.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah,
yes.
your
exceptional.
listenership enjoyed it as well. And I know I did, and all of you were very gracious to me and let me run my mouth and tell that story. So I thank all of you, and God bless you too as well.
Yeah, I
Yes.
learned there's more reggae artists out there than Bob.
YouTube them, baby, YouTube them.
And
Get
now
the mix.
we
Uh-huh.
have someone that just joined us. Kevin, would you like to make a comment or ask a question of our guest, Barbara?
First of all, thank you, Barbara, and all you sophisticated people for sharing your lives. It's actually awesome as I've been taking a survey that you've been doing this for quite a while, and that's even bigger than being a reggae muffin. So thank you. I see so many interesting things that you have your jazz on the green. Maybe Mashariki will share our jazz vespers that we're doing on August the 10th, and I'd like to invite you
That's right.
and Barbara specifically. If you come, we have lunch waiting for you, and you're on the guest list. So just know that. And I just want
Thank you.
it's the work that you have done touched so many people in so many places and is
Mm-hmm.
continuing to. So I just want you to be encouraged and keep doing that and know that we're soldiers and figuring that out. And I just love you for it. So thank you.
Thank you very much for thanking me. Thank
Appreciate those
you,
words,
Kevin.
brother O'Neill.
And just to give a little background on Kevin, he's a composer, arranger, musical director here in, we do have a jazz vesper this coming, well, the Sunday, the 10th of August at Linwood United Methodist Church. And what a jazz vesper is, after church, we have a live jazz quartet and lunch to go along with it.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay. All right.
All
Well,
right, so
I'm
I
gonna
guess
take yeah.
we're gonna do our close, and I appreciate everyone this evening, and we're gonna keep doing what we do.
I agree to that.
Excellent job, beloved Rashiki. I'm very, very grateful for your efforts.
Ditto. Ditto. Thank
That's
you,
great.
everybody.
Ragamuffin production.
Yes.
Hey,
Rastafari live.
every time, without
Yes.
apology.